I'm going to talk about three main subjects to get your guys' point of view. Chatham House rules, apart from it, will be up on social media. I want to talk about three main subjects, which is pressure, adversity, and reinvention. Those are the three things, and so we're going to start with pressure first. And the reason I want to give you some grounding of why I want to talk about this, for a certain chapter within your long story of triathlon so far, and you guys still have many chapters to write in the sport, both of you were not just at the highest level, you were at an unbelievable level. And for a period where almost every race you were the hot favorites. And, I watched from afar and just really viewed both Vincent and Paula as a part of their career as almost unbeatable in many ways. And that comes with potentially some internal pressure, but also a lot of external pressure. And I'd really be interested, Vincent, I'll start with you, of how throughout your career, and maybe at the time where you really had the bright lights and the spotlight on you, how you managed that and what your relationship with stress and pressure was like.
Yeah, that's a really good subject. Like, to answer your question, there's two elements I think are good to know. Is the first thing, and for me, the one person that masterized pressure is Alistair Brownlee. He won the Olympics. He was the favorite in front of home crowd. The London Olympic was insane. Like, he has his face on buses and credit card everywhere, and he won. Like, it's incredible. Like, people don't even imagine how his head was before the race, and he won. And for me, that's, out of everything I've seen, it's the best ever like sport performance I've seen in triathlon. And then talking about me personally, like I've came into the Olympics twice as one of the favorite for a medal or for the win. I was second at the test event in 2015, the year before Rio Olympics, and Ravi Gomez, that won the test event, was injured for the race, so I was coming into Olympics as one of the favorites. Same in 2021, I won every single race on the calendar in 2020, and I was just not good enough. Like, I finished like far off the podium, and that's just what I have. And my friends actually, after Tokyo, they called me the camping chair because I fall under pressure. So that's that's something that stays now. But that was just that's it is what it is. You don't rewrite history and.
How did you grow from that? How did you manage to take that?
Well, it was two different experiences. The first one, I really took it really, really bad after Rio Olympics. It was I don't know what depression is, but I don't think I was far off. I really cut every single relation I had with family, friends, and I just locked myself inside the house and I'm not like I did not have any bad thought or whatever, but I was just like thinking over and over, why am I doing this? Is it worth it? And you just spend your day doing nothing. Like you don't eat, you don't drink, you're just at home, you're just waiting for life to go on. And I remember my friend, they came and picked me up and said, mate, we took a flight for you. We're going to Kenya for 2 months, and there's nothing to do except running. So that's all you have to do. And we just boarded and the flight and arrived there, and it was the best decision, like the best 6 weeks of my life. I spent Christmas there and New Year's Eve there, and it was amazing. And that was
in basically a running training camp environment.
Yeah. Well, the first week I was getting dropped by everyone, so I had to take motor taxi to come back to the hotel and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really
at altitude.
It's in Heaton, so it's 2,500 meters elevation. It's like it's savage. It's really hard conditions, and you can't really complain there.
And that luxury hotels and plasma TVs.
Not really. Yeah, if you have electricity, that's a good day. But no, that was really good to reconnect with reality. And I remember I was talking with some guys, and they were like, "Oh, why you sad? Why you here?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I failed at the Olympics." "Oh, where did you finish?" "I was 7th." And they're like, "Mate, like, what are you talking about? Like, you're 7th at the Olympic. Like, how can you be sad about it?" And and then you realize, like, these guys, they they live out of nothing, but they will give you everything, and you just come back with a different vision of your life and everything. And I think that was really, really good. And after I failed the second time at the Olympics in 2021, I knew by experience that just being sad about it did not bring anything. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, man, just keep racing. There are other races coming, and you're still a good athlete, and you can still win races, and yeah, life goes on. At the end of the day, you still come back, you still sit on the couch, you still do your laundry, everything. So, it's still like bad performance can happen, but life still goes on, and the sun will shine tomorrow and rise, and you can stay in your bed or get out and train again.
I just want to warn you, it might not shine on Saturday morning because the fog might be in. But
I think at the end of the day, like, a bad performance is just what you do with it.
Yeah.
And you can be in the mindset, and it's only on you. Like, it's not like your entourage. It's not people telling you, oh yeah, you're good or you're not good. It's mostly what you do with it. And at the end of the day, if people are raising a hand, if you take it or not, it's your choice.
Yeah.
And it's just sport. It's just sport. There is so much more than this. And so it was two different experience, and honestly, if I can relive 2016, go to Kenya again and all that, I'll do it. Yeah, every single time. Yeah, it was really good.
How about you, Paula, handling?
What was remind me of the question?
So the original question, What's
I
the
loved
best?
it.
What's
I
the
can't
best?
follow
What's the
that
best
up.
crime thriller? Was the question. But we're talking about handling pressure actually, and then
how I do it.
how you manage pressure externally, internally, whatever it might be. We rolled into adversity as well, but and that's okay. You can go there if you want because it was fantastic and interesting.
That was a great answer.
We
You
start
should write a
with-
book, Vince.
You should write a book, my friend.
Got a lot of stories. I had a little bit of a similar pathway as I was really young when I started having the success in ITU, like 19, 20. I won 5 big races in a row, kind of out of nowhere. And when I started winning these races, I didn't really have sponsors yet. I didn't have a manager. I was used to winning because of my junior years, but not at the elite level like this. So it was a very big shock to me. And everything was thrown on to me really quickly because when you're winning and having success, everybody wants to be associated with you. And Triathlon Canada was, what do you need? You can have literally anything you need because you're going to win an Olympic gold medal. So I was 21 dealing with this external pressure, but still trying to train and perform like I always had, which was just like, putting my head down and working hard. So I went into the Olympics with an injury actually, but I had pre-qualified and I had it was the London Olympics, so 2012. A lot of pressure, which I tried to kind of blindfold myself and not think about, but I went into the race as a favorite to win and ended up coming in last place actually, so much worse than 7th. But I finished the race and I pulled off the course several times on the run, crying, thinking I can't do this. So I really did crumble under the pressure and was not physically fit enough to be there. So it took me a lot of years to get over that. And I still wanted to be in the sport because the success I had had in 2011 was still so fresh in my mind. And I still believed I could be back being one of the best in the world. But it was just this huge blip under all these eyeballs. There's so many people watching the Olympics, people that have no idea what triathlon even is, that back home in Canada, the media was all over my story, which I luckily didn't see because I wasn't back home. But it was part of this time in my career that I've almost tried to block out of my memory. And there's so many details I don't even remember anymore. Feels like a different athlete sometimes, but I'm really lucky that I, over almost a decade, got over the hump of injury and setbacks and could perform well. Ultimately, 2020 in Daytona was kind of the kickoff to the next phase in my career, which was 8 years later. So having a great family and having school in the middle of that. I did get a degree and had other focuses, so that was good to not just identify as a triathlete, but have other things in my life.
You mentioned, I'm going to jump to this because I wanted to ask you about Daytona. I mentioned it downstairs, I think a little bit. Again, I wasn't intimately a part of your triathlon journey, but that really seemed as a huge moment in your career. I'd love you to go
Yeah.
down there where it was, that seemed like that was a real transition for you. Can you talk about that a little bit?
In some ways it was. I think 2020 was actually really good for me in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people had a lot of hardship that year, so I'm not going to say it was like the greatest year ever, but for me personally, having a total break from racing was actually just what I needed. And Eric and I still continued to train that year because we love training, and it just made me realize that I actually do want to get out the door each day and train and push myself. And I did have goals still in the sport, but we had no idea when we'd be on a start line next, including Daytona. It was still up in the air up till weeks before whether we could travel down to the US to race there. So I was fitter than I knew I was, because we'd been training all year, but under complete non-pressure. Like, I was just doing it because I wanted to. I was doing sessions because I wanted to. I was going after QOMs and doing Strava and all the fun things. So after I won Daytona, Eric was like, I think we're just going to race one time a year. That's like your thing. You just train for 11 months with no stress and then go and race the biggest race of the year. Obviously that's hard to do, but it was kind of eye-opening, because I went into that with such a good headspace and happiness and kind of I had no idea I was going to win, obviously, but yeah, it ended up being a great day.
And you've had so much success since then. So was that a real lesson that you've managed to build on? Because what it sounded like there is you had, what's that word? Fun along the journey. And
the year was fun for me,
yeah,
even though, I mean, we were in like lockdown and stuff, but it was kind of fun.
It just sounds like you were racing with real freedom. Yeah, in many ways, or just like for the absolute purity of having the sport, of just embracing the sport. Have you managed to retain a semblance as that as you go through now?
A little bit. It is hard in these 200 races, because it feels like short course racing again, where there's like a lot of pressure and all the best athletes are here, and I find it really challenging to maintain that open-minded headspace when we race these people so many times a year. But I try. Yeah.